right, as people are entering, we're going to do a little bit of a warm up, and I'm going to play some songs, and I want you to rate which song you like best. So we're going to put up a poll, and this is just some garage band. This is called Soul Sound. What to expect today? First of all, I want to welcome the new members, and we're gonna that are joining VMEA. Some just for the first time on this call, where hopefully you will enjoy the networking session. We're going to be going right from here into the trivia, and then we're going to have just a minute where you're going to have a choice of which video that you get to see, and then we're going to do, of course, the main event, which is the networking roulette, a survey, building the community. And so with that, right now we are all logged in, and it is time to play trivia. So Lance is going to start us off. Do your best. It is timed. Remember, it is timed. So you get points based on timing. This is trivia based on the month, as well as trivia based on virtual. To see one of our guests here today, and he's on the screen today. We do a show called Just a Minute. And what it is a minute of education. We do an interview that's 30 to 40 minutes. And we're very happy actually to have Jim Padilla with us today. And we did an interview very recently with him, and I want to share it with you now.
When you have the right audience, the right people in the room, and you are delivering to them the right message, then it's about how many different ways can they experience that message. You over deliver in value, don't over deliver in content. They don't need 10,000 things that you know. They need to know what's the one thing that you want them to walk away with, and how many ways can you teach it, and how can you get them that outcome. You have to, in order to get that outcome, you have to make sure that they participate, that they're engaged, that your objective in a virtual event is to never get put on background. So you do that by keeping their hands engaged, by keeping them into breakout rooms, by keep changing the scenes and the setting. Part of the if you nail this, you'll always win at the event space. You need to have a crystal clear, single walk away deliverable. I own this lane. I may not have everything else in business and in life mastered, but I crush it right here, and I'm here to help you, and here's how.
Jim, your message, we all watched your video a number of times, and we all like different parts of it, to be honest with you. But the one that resonated the most with us, well, with me, it was a little different than the rest, but it was really owning your lane. Can you speak for a second about that?
Sure. Glad to be here with everybody. I love being in a new environment where I see a whole bunch of new faces, because there's a bunch of new relationships to be developed, which is awesome. Owning your lane, I think, has always been a part of successful business people. But I think today, in today's economy where everybody is now online and is such a crowded market space, that you have to be the expert of what you do. And even if you do something similar to somebody else, you have to be able to stand out in such a way that people say, yeah, I get it. You know, you want people to be able to turn their head and say, I have never thought about it that way. Because when you can win people over to a new way of thinking, you now create new tribe and new following. And with that, you can make a lot of things happen.
Fantastic. So I invite you, if you want to stay on and ask Jim some questions later on, please do. That was just the minute. We've got a 30 to 40 minute video that's coming out with all of it. There's a lot more detail behind his strategies. So with that, we are going to go to our presentation and on to the networking. All right, so it is now time for Christina Robertson Whitehead, one of our long members, to take us through a tour. But let me tell you, Christina is first described as energy. Everybody that knows Christina commonly says she is energy. A 23-year veteran of the event industry, Christina Robertson Whitehead, CMP and owner of Muse Productions, has been pivoting to the virtual events and meeting world. Using her multitasking and organizational skills, along with her technology background with AV production teams. In 2020, she has been engaged in providing professional virtual moderator facilitator services, which she's helping us with today, pivoting her clients to execute, build virtual conferences, in fact, pivoted some clients to such, and learning a wide variety of virtual event platforms and integrations. She also provides Zoom training to clients. Christina's busy career also includes her active participation of one of the developers of the event certificate program at the Emory Center for Continuing Education, where she's proud to be instructor. Please welcome Christina as she moderates our networking roulette. So okay, if you guys could clap. Thank you. Thank you. Before I let Christina on, I want you guys to know that Ecamm is our background today. And all the movement that you see, we're using Ecamm in order to move from video to presentation to speakers. And so this is one of our new members, and something last month, we tried a different platform. This month we've tried this, and it's really like owning your own studio. So I suggest that you try it out at some point. But with that, I'm sorry, back to you, Christina Robertson Whitehead. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Jim. I appreciate it. I am going to go ahead and share my screen now. So hopefully everybody is able to see.
We are good.
All right, awesome. Okay, great. Let me just shuffle some things around here real quick. Welcome everybody. It's nice to have everybody here. Some of you I know, of course, and some of you I don't. I am going to manage this networking roulette. I'm going to go through it in just a second with how we're going to do this and how it's going to work. Sorry, I'm just having a technical glitch on my side. All good. So what we're going to do is the object of this is for you to talk to people and learn new things and get to know each other. So I am going to shuffle you into a random breakout room. You are going to be with 3 or 4 other people. Hopefully you don't know each other, but maybe you do, in which case you're going to learn new things about each other. You're going to have 8 minutes to talk, to chat amongst yourselves. And then you're going to get a 30-second closing warning. So we're going to move you automatically into the room. So once I launch those breakout rooms, you're going to get moved automatically. 8-minute timer will be set. You've got 30 seconds. It'll show you when there's the countdown for it to come back. And then you're going to come back to the main room. We'll chat a little bit, see how it went for you. And then we'll shuffle you back up, new people, and do it again with new groups.
Connie, you've got to have something.
Connie,
well, frankly, the discussion about platforms for virtual meetings and stuff kind of leaves me cold. I mean, it's frankly, I know a little bit about that stuff, but in terms of in-depth trying to deliver that kind of information to people is I do not currently right now today have the capacity to absorb all of that and then to make recommendations to people based on that information. How do you feel about it, Katie?
Yeah, so I work at a company that makes a live streaming tool. So that's the one that we're using tonight. And I agree. I think it's something that's overwhelming for a lot of different people. And I think being able to figure out how to really think through exactly what the virtual event is that you're running, and really planning out that detailed run of show, and then finding a tool that's going to work best for that specific content. Because each one is going to offer something slightly different.
Welcome back, everybody.
Got it.
Oh, sorry. The first thing we want to do is if you could put your LinkedIn profile name before the end of this call in the chat so that others can connect with you. That's really one of the primary purposes of the event.
All right, so if everybody's ready to go, here we go.
Hell, who invited him? David Hattow.
Going on there, Ms. Honaker.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the breakout. Mark, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Lynn, everything's coming up roses, it looks like.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Thank you.
The virtual world is good for many things. When you say surviving through it, it's kind of like, hey, get your food delivery.
Yeah.
Your basics.
Right.
That's where my mind went immediately. If you're talking about trying to make a living or gaining revenue, it's a bit more of a challenge. My thinking around events is rather than have one event sponsored with a sponsor online, to have them sponsor over time weekly shows, like an advertising show, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So they can sponsor the weekly show on Wednesdays, and that way their name is out there often on all of our promotions and things. So we have a sponsor for that, and that's nice. It's like a 6-month contract, which is nice. So we sell them in 1 month, quarters, 6 months, and year. The only goal I have with my virtual right now is to bring the community together, give them a place to meet each other. They're birds of a feather, but they're from different silos and different areas of work and different industries. So, but we all have ideas in common around customer experience. So it's been fun. It's great getting guests on there and interviewing them for like 15 minutes, and then we go to networking.
Well, first of all, I am the owner of a company called ProMotion. And so we are kind of behind the scenes for virtual meetings. So we would provide the swag and distribution and make it as easy, as possible. So we are not so much involved in the actual meeting, but providing your customer, your company with merchandise that has your logo on it. And bringing your events some life.
Swag's been a big thing. I've received a couple of those boxes, and that was fun. I got a couple things, coffee mugs, and phone charger. That was probably my favorite.
It could be anything you can possibly imagine.
I mean, I think a lot of people are missing out on the swag stuff.
Weekly episode that you're sponsoring. What's the content? What are you guys doing?
Oh, we're a customer experience series. So right now, the world of customer experience is everything that you can imagine that goes into product design and development, building design development, as well as whatever they're doing inside the service processes. Service design, there's a lot, pretty much given the idea of design thinking. That's the front end of everything. And also all CRM platforms are part of that. They connect everything for omnichannel, voice of customer, operational data, and bring in everything from call center to hiring and culture. It's a lot of different disciplines and topics that go into our discussions. And you can have verticals if you want. I'm thinking about doing a vertical one in Nashville in healthcare only.
All right. Welcome back. We're going to have one more round of networking. Hopefully you've met some interesting people. I'm glad I haven't been stuck with Bill Yetman. Did I say that out loud? Oh my God, that is so wrong. No, I love Bill and he knows it.
First breakout, Jim determined that the new trend alert is earrings are the new accessory for virtual meetings. Thank you, Katie, for that.
Earrings. Okay.
Earrings.
Right.
Yeah. Earrings.
Next meeting. That is for sure a topic. Okay. And in fact, all are invited to participate. The best set of earrings. I like that.
You got 2 for 1.
Yeah, Paulette's going to reach out to me next week to tell me more details about what you guys are doing to see if I registered as a planner, and she said I might want to also register as a provider if I want to get some freelance.
You get a listing where you can provide a video, you can provide your logo, you'll be listed in our area. You'll have the same benefits. You'll have some sites that you can see that the planners can't see. Okay, you can have people rate you and your services, and I would recommend that you ask planners to come on that have worked with you. But really what we're about, and you'll see it as we go through, we're an organization that promotes collaboration, connecting people, and coming up with new ideas and best practices.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. I hope that was a good and productive conversation. Anybody have any particular highlights you want to share? That was our last round for today.
Centered around hybrid events, I would like to understand a little bit more what the latest thinking is around hybrid events, especially things like, should you have like your own MC to deal with the audience on the hybrid that's a virtual there. So like if we have a half day meeting and we have several breaks, what happens to the people during those breaks? Do we need to have someone there to just continue to talk with them and guide them?
The answer is yes.
Yeah. Short answer. Yeah.
This kind of discussion stuff I want to think about,
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not only that, it's yes, I think the mistake that we see a lot of people do in a hybrid event is you're trying to put on the same event for both, and you can't do that. You're essentially having two separate events that integrate. So you find the cross section points, and the rest of the time you serve the online people as if they're online, and you serve the in-person people as if they're in person, and then bring them together when you can. One little thing is like, if you have a 30-minute break in the room, then you give a 20-minute or a 15-minute break online because they're in their house. They don't need to leave and go anywhere. And the longer you let them leave, the harder it is to get them back. So you need to make sure there is a separate MC or something else going on there. And we do tons of times with, if it's an hour-long lunch break, and if the whole event, like on a virtual event, we'll say, go get your lunch and bring it back. So they literally, they'll go, even if they're only eating and hanging out, they're all online together doing it instead of letting them roam and disappear.
Yeah, I know we'll have table topics, and they can join the topics as they want.
Right.
And those will be open for a while. We may rotate them at a given period. Typically, in our face-to-face, we'd have a 90-minute lunch, and that's a big part of our program. So having those table talks could be pretty cool, I think. But moderating that alone, I think we do need to have people dedicated to that, and it's just another line item.
Mm-hmm.
A big one.
Yeah.
My question, as far as hybrid is concerned, would it, is there any type of trend going on where they'll have the live event and then the virtual event separate from the live event, say like a day later or something like that, with content that's, edited and, that type of thing for the online audience? Is there anything like that going on?
That you can do that. Please, anybody jump in. I don't want to dominate conversation, although I'm easily do it. If you do that, it's not a live event. The thing that makes the virtual event magic is live. The moment it's a recording is nothing more than a webinar, and no matter how great it is. So the only way people will engage that recording is if they were involved in the live portion of it.
Now, it doesn't mean that you can't have that live event and then pull that content together and say, if you couldn't make it, you didn't want to make it, here's an event for half, 3/4 of the price, where you're not going to be able to talk to the keynotes live, but you can talk to each other live, and here's the recorded content, and you can still have a live chat, but you're just showing the content, and you can still charge for that.
Yeah, David, I wanted just to say that's the difference between synchronous and asynchronous learning. And any learning and development team or anyone who wants to look at education is going to make sure that they capture that. And it's not just for monetization, but for the ability after the fact to create their own curriculums where someone can't get to everything in that day or that virtual event, which I think is the more important point, even more so than monetization. But just like Jim had said, it's no longer a hybrid event when you've taken that recorded and edited. But it even can become more impactful, but it no longer has, we were talking about it in one of our sessions, the one thing virtual and hybrid has not been able to do is to to create that foyer interaction with people immediately following a learning event or a session, where someone can get together and I can go to you, David, and say, what did you get out of it? Here's
Right.
what I got out of it. That isn't coalesced yet as much as it has for traditional meetings.
Right.
One thing you could do, we did for a virtual summit we did in the spring of last year, is we had recorded sessions on different key topics, and there was a chat below them so people could ask questions, but we immediately followed them with a live Q&A with the speaker in a closed Facebook group. And that gave everyone the opportunity to watch through the session without kind of any of the tech challenges that were happening at the time of, live video going down, or, guests across the world with different time zones. People were able to watch the content in a time that worked for them, and then be able to jump on and have that direct engagement with the speaker, to be able to ask their questions and network with other people that had seen the content. And within that closed Facebook group, it built a pretty good community of people that were networking, getting to know each other and asking questions and live streaming. And, and a Facebook group is free, and you can make it closed. And so there was a lot of potential for something like that, which is a pretty simple structure, but gave people the opportunity to learn and then also still engage in kind of that table talk format.
I'm gonna come back on here just because we try to keep it on time, and I'm just gonna tell you, we can stay longer, you can stay longer, but we're gonna get through the kind of the official end real quick. And the first thing I want to do is thank a few people, and just so I don't mess up, I'm gonna pull out a screen here. Carolyn on the top left. Carolyn, I want to thank you for helping bring in some new members. Carolyn had her own group and was able to bring them into our group to talk on events like this. And so we hope that you guys got value out of it. And we're certainly looking to figure out how to provide more value and content for our members. Secondly, Christina, great job on the breakouts. I think everything went really well. Let's make sure when we rate at the end, we let her know that we felt good about it. Jim, appreciate your discussion. Note that his video was on our LinkedIn site, our Facebook site, if you want to see it. I'm not sure the sound was as high as I'd like it to have been. Of course, our trivia partner, CrowdPer, which we've done trivia for multiple weeks. Katie, thanks for joining us with eCam Live. I really enjoy your product. I've been using it. I'm sure I could be better at it, but I'm having fun with it. I swear I am. I swear I am. Yeah, thank you. Oh, that's so sweet. And Lynn Wolfson with ProMotion, who can help provide different gifts and swag bags for your events in the future. So thanks everybody. But with that said, I'm going to move on to two more points. One is to thank you and help us grow. Help us grow by following us on our different sites. You follow us, it helps people to follow you, be active on our sites. We were talking about just if you've got ideas, and I've heard a lot of great ideas today. People don't want to hear from me though. They want to hear from you about your ideas, okay? So if you have good ideas, talk on there. It helps to create awareness of you as well as virtual. Refer us, get people to join, planners or providers. It takes the whole communities, and again, back to getting involved. Last thing I want to talk about, sorry, is a little bit of things that we have coming up. And so we have what we talked a little bit about, which is edutainment. And we believe that in the future, to keep people engaged, you need to do something that's a little fun, and we're not afraid to take a risk. So one of them is go big or go home. Go big or go home is about creatives, and it's about creating your interest in virtual. Well, the pitch game is about getting a provider, a planner that's looking for a provider that serves a specific integration or platform, and going online and sharing that experience of going out for those three people, which we'll have present to you. We'll have more details online, but it's all about getting involved with your education so that it's fun and at the same time learning something and producing content that isn't just talking heads all the time. I think we all really enjoyed everybody getting a chance to speak, and you're sick of me speaking, so I'm gonna shut up. So with that said, please put any quotes, comments. We're gonna put a survey up here right now, but please talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna take this off the screen so we can do a gallery view with the survey.